Well, I had to take it because it was just an amazing character on the paper. I mean, to see all these different shades of a guy who's very physical, very visceral, very emotional, but also quite bright and brilliant at police work and a lot of history, but plays by his own rules. He's kind of a maverick and a rebel in that sense. How it came to me, I had a deal with NBC, a development deal, and we've been looking for the right thing to do that we could all get excited about, and this came to be.
I would say this is a pretty good one to choose.
Yeah.
So why do you think this is the right time to bring back this iconic character and bring back the show? I heard it's not a remake, but
No.
It's inspired by.
Yeah, well said. Well said. No, it's inspired.
I didn't come up with it.
But we're gonna go with it. Yeah, it is inspired by. It is a reimagining. It is a reboot of the original, and really, what we took were the foundational elements: his name, Robert T. Ironside, the fact that he is a detective, and the fact that he is disabled. He's in a wheelchair. Really, aside from that, all the characters, the character names, everything is new. The setting, we're in New York. The original was in San Francisco. And obviously it's 2013, so the way in which we can tell a story is different than storytelling in the 60s or 70s. I think the audiences today are accustomed to, because of cable television and great dramatic television on network TV, accustomed to great character depth and understanding, people's motives and objectives, why they do the things they do. So we're not just a crime show. We're not just solving crime. We do have that, which is exciting because an audience can tune in and see the crime that's being solved. But what makes ours unique, what makes any crime show unique, are who are the characters that inhabit this world. In this case, who are the cops, the law enforcement, the detectives. And in this one, if you even look at the original, I mean, the idea of having a cop or a detective who is in a wheelchair, who is disabled, was very progressive in the 1960s. I mean, to think that they would even create a character like that, and ran for 8 years, very successful. So the fact that that's not even a hurdle nowadays for an audience to accept the notion of that, we can really play with what the reality is. And that I work very closely with my tech advisor, whose name is David Bryant, who is a paraplegic, has been for 30 some odd years, paralyzed at 19, and prior to the pilot, he's on the set most days right now. Just to make sure we're being as authentic as we can, because it's very important to us that we be as respectful and honest to what this disability means to this character. And every person is different.
I found the circumstances of the character actually pretty interesting. A guy who's in sort of an absolutistic system, very much right or wrong, defined boundaries, black and white, good and evil, that sort of thing. And yet, over the years of him and Ironside being partners, you bang up against those boundaries so much. It's the gray parts and the effect that it has, the toll that it takes on a person. You really can't deal with it in the moment. You sort of have to be present for the next, high-octane, intense crime or whatever it is that you have to deal with. And so I think it's the accumulation that's kind of taken a toll on Gary and put him where he is in the present day. That was interesting to me.
What was interesting to me is it was kind of a compelling crime drama, but within the construct of the crime drama, they seem to thread this fabric of this family element through it. One of the great things is in the pilot, it's set up as they're a team, but it's a newly formed team, so it's kind of like the beginning. So you'll see these characters evolve, you'll see them evolve with each other. Even Gary, even though he has had a relationship with Ironside, there's kind of a new beginning with their relationship. So I was excited to see the journey of these characters and how they grow together within the construct of this crime drama.
It is like a dysfunctional family, I guess. Robert Ironside's pulled us all together for various aspects. We're strong in all kinds of different areas.
We are.
To be nondescript.
I
Just
think
all kinds of strong.
we live in a gym and we work out a lot. And she does a lot of squat presses.
I do, yeah. Sumo squats. I think
exactly, sumo squats. She's great at the sumo squats and at CrossFit. But I think the thing is it's almost like we're almost like orphans, and we've been pulled into this house by a foster father who's given us a chance to be better than we were where we were before. And I think the thing is we live in a remarkably small house, and all of us are fighting to be heard.
I think it's always a good time to bring back a good crime drama. You know, those themes are universal. And so to have a show that explores the issues of crime in a clearly successfully dramatic way, when is a bad time to bring that back? You know, it's a show that's made for this time and this space, but using the setup of that show.
This is a different thing completely because it's a different show. You're dealing with initially people's point of reference, their nostalgia, and their remembering of what that Ironside meant. And it takes time to, again, it's breathing new air into it. It's the same thing Hawaii Five-0 did. It's the same thing Tom Cruise did with Mission Impossible on the big screen. It's been done successfully and unsuccessfully in different ways, but it has to do with, as anything, if anybody knew what makes anything successful, everything would be successful, and it's not. It depends on the timing, it depends on the casting, it depends on if the audience is ready for it, so you never really know, but it's not intimidating in that sense because we're not dealing with the same text.